Hi, Pisces Crosswatchers. This is a general reading for those of you who are curious about a Pisces in your life. Same rules apply for this as all other general readings, my darlings. Basically, some of it may resonate, all of it may resonate. You may feel like none of it resonates. That happens with general readings, but I promise you this. If Spirit has brought you to this video, there's at least one message in here for you. So listen up. If you are a Pisces and you're just watching because you're double checking if Amethyst has it right, if Amethyst was able to catch up on your energy, again, keep in mind these are general readings, so the same general reading rule applies. Also, if it doesn't resonate for you, Pisces, your person might not be cross-watching for you on my channel. They may not believe in tarot readings, or they might not watch tarot readings. So that can be a factor as well, depending on your personal circumstances. We're going to connect here and see what is coming up for Crosswatcher and for Pisces in the month of July. So my dears, I'm not here to spill tea. I'm not here to throw shade. I'm not here to do anything here like get into anybody's dirty laundry or spy. I always ask that the information come in be for the highest good of the Crosswatcher and the Pisces, that the information come in, 1, 2, 3, 4, that the information coming in be to bring about constructive results, positive results, to build the relationship, to bring about positive change, and if necessary, healing and closure, you know, if that's the case as well. So that's what we have coming up. All right, so Pisces, you've got the Tower, or Crosswatcher, I should say. Crosswatcher, in dealing with your Pisces, you've got the Tower. So this is telling us that your connection with your Pisces is coming to a make it or break it moment. This is kind of like a very, very serious fork in the road. Usually when a Tower is coming up, it's because something has been ignored for far too long and it cannot be ignored anymore. So something is coming out into the open. I almost feel that for some of you, if you're already dating your Pisces or if you're already in a relationship with your Pisces, what is happening is there's this big argument. There's like this, like just something happens, this little thing escalates, and you guys are just going at it. Like you just, like, guys are just like arguing, and there's just like this, excuse my language, but there's like this verbal diarrhea. I feel on both ends. Like everything is just getting laid out. It's all getting laid out. So anything that you've wanted to say but you haven't been sure how to say, or anything that you feel like they've been keeping from you, like you've been trying to get them open up and they haven't been telling you, something is happening where I feel like it's all coming out. It's all coming out. It's all on the table. It's been said. It can't be taken back. And so it's going to be up to you guys to kind of, you know, sift through it and figure out how to pick up the pieces or how to bring in healing from here. Because this is the Tower card, this is a major arcana card, this is telling me that both of you all are being forced into this time of growth and change. And so both of you are like really holding up a mirror to one another. Like, look at yourself. Look at yourself. This is how you're hurting the relationship, or this is the ways in which I feel you're hurting me. So you may be seeing things about yourself that you were like, what in the heck? I didn't know I was like that, or I didn't know that my Pisces felt this way, and vice versa. Those of you who are dealing with a Pisces that you're estranged from, that you haven't heard from this Pisces, or they've disappeared in some way, and you've been wondering why they haven't reached out, your Pisces is most likely going through a Tower moment where their past is catching up with them, or their previous decisions is catching up with them. And maybe they made this choice, or they made this decision not to put the relationship with you first because they've been putting family first, or they've been putting their friends first, or they've been putting some job first. And Crosswatcher, you know that that's a toxic thing that they've been putting first. Universe is stepping in and pulling that toxic thing away from Pisces. So there's just like this massive kind of rock bottom that the Pisces might be going through, or if not a rock bottom, just like this chaos that they're going through. So you may not be hearing from them in July. At least you're probably not going to be hearing from them in the first part of July. They're going through some kind of clearing. If you're already connected with your Pisces, you guys are already in a relationship, you guys are going to be going through a clearing together, okay? And you need to remind yourself that if you were not ready to deal with these things, they wouldn't be here now. It wouldn't be at the surface now. It's coming to the surface so that it can be healed. It's coming to the surface so that you can move past it, get it out of the way so that you're not stuck anymore. Some of you dealing with a Pisces, you just may have felt like there's been some kind of a block, like the relationship hasn't been progressing how it was progressing before. And so the Tower moment is saying whatever that might be, it's being kind of blown out of the water, right? Whatever this block is, it's being blown out of the way. And for some of you, it can feel like a little bit of a jolt, okay? And there's a decision that's having to be made. For some of you, there's something that's happening that's actually going to end up being a blessing in disguise. Some of you are with a Pisces that's been working way too much or been putting too much focus on their job. So there could be a layoff or something that's happening. And although you might have the fear or the initial panic of, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We're losing this income. It's going to be taking them or eventually guiding them to a better job where they're not giving so much of their time and their health and sacrificing the relationship to make whatever they were making. They're going to be able to find that somewhere else, but in a healthier environment. So a blessing in disguise. Next, we have the Four of Fire. Okay, so this is promising, right? Because we had that scary Tower moment in the beginning where everything was coming into the open, everything was being put out on the table, and then we have the whole thing of like, you know, some of you are dealing with this person who's gonna be potentially maybe having this job loss and having to find another job. That can be scary, but you're moving past it fairly quickly, because then you're coming into Four of Fire, and Four of Fire is about a fresh, solid, healthy, strong foundation. A nice, strong, solid foundation. So you're coming into a connection in that way. So for some of you, it's like you're renewing your promise to be together. You're renewing your resolve to be with one another. Four of Fire for me sometimes is also about home, like a sense of home or creating a home. So maybe some of you are focusing on that. Maybe some of you are focusing on turning your attention into making the house more of a home, or turning your attention into moving together, or getting engaged, or planning a wedding. Four of Fire can also be weddings, okay? It's that solid, long-term kind of connection. So even though you're having this Tower moment that's jolting you, it's I'm a big Smiths fan, and Smiths, they have this one song. It says, if it's not love, then it's the bomb that will bring us together. Meaning sometimes when chaos happens, or sometimes when there's like some big jolting or scary thing, people have this tendency to come together, right? Like sometimes in the face of a difficult situation or the face of a tragedy, people learn to be more compassionate. People learn to be there for one another, and they bond together, and they can evolve into a more peaceful society as a result. So that could be happening for you all in terms of this relationship, where there's this jolt, there's this unpleasant kind of expressiveness or release, and then it's teaching you guys to be more loving. It's teaching you guys that there's a better way, that it doesn't have to be this way, that we can come together, that we can heal, that we can grow in love, and that we can have this solid, steady foundation. Next, we have the Hermit. So this is another major arcana card. For those of you cross-watching for Pisces, this is not gonna be an easy month for you, because you've got these two very heavy major arcana cards. The Hermit is not like a card of destruction or anything like that, but it's a serious energy, because when the Hermit comes up, we're going through some spiritual growth. We're going through some revelations. We're seeing the truth about ourselves. We're seeing the truth about situations, the truth about others. We may even be seeking out some kind of spiritual advisor or some mentor to come in and to direct us. Or we might be trying to figure out who we are and what we believe. The Hermit is deep. It is deep energy. So, I feel that your Pisces is going to go into this time of deep reflection, like self-reflection. And as a result, they're going to let some friendships and some connections fall by the wayside. Okay? They're not going to feel super social. They're not going to want to be around their old friends. They might not even feel like being around family a whole lot. And when they're spending time with you, they might not be in the mood like to go out. They might not be in the mood to be around a lot of people. I feel like they're keeping their circles super, 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 super tight, super small. And so it could just be you. They might just have a circle of one. And when they're not with you, they're just kind of spending time alone. I feel like your Pisces is going to need a lot of time for some self-reflection in July. Next, we have Messenger of Earth. So after they're having this time of self-reflection, they're wanting to move forward with getting more stable in their life. Messenger of Earth is very, very stable energy, but it's also very slow moving energy. So there could be an undertaking of a long-term plan. Your Pisces might be like, look, this is what I want in the next 5 years, or this is what I want in the next 10 years. This is how we have to make it happen. This is how we're going to move forward. Those of you who have a Pisces who's coming back into your life or who's reappearing, they're wanting to be friends before they can reconcile, or they're wanting to just spend time getting to know each other again from the very beginning, so it wouldn't be a fast reconciliation. It wouldn't be like, I'm here, let's run off and get married, or I'm here and then jumping right back into the romance. It could also be within the relationship that your Pisces is just in this energy where they're feeling like they're rediscovering themselves after that hermit mode. And so you might be feeling like you got to get to know your Pisces all over again. Your Pisces is going to say that 10 times fast. Your Pisces is going to be going through a lot of changes, and a lot of awakening, and a lot of maturing, and a lot of just kind of, coming into this more mature, more authentic self. So this Messenger of Earth makes me feel like you all are getting to know each other almost from the beginning again, almost from scratch. Next, we have Five of Water. So Five of Water comes up when we might be dealing with really intense emotions that we don't want to deal with, where it's kind of going really intense, and we kind of want to try to find a way to distract ourselves from our feelings. Pisces is a water sign, and water signs in general tend to be very emotional, albeit the different water signs deal with their emotions in very different ways. But Pisces, Pisces can be a crier. Pisces can be someone that gets really heavy in their feelings, and so they might be dealing with feelings that they don't want to deal with. Overall, you guys, I think what your Pisces is going to need from you, if you are in this for the long haul, and if you are in this because, you care about this Pisces and you want to be there for them, I feel like your Pisces, for whatever reason, as they're going through this awakening, and even though you might come out of that tower moment and the things that were said that can't be taken back, even if you feel that you've resolved it or you've moved past it and you've reaffirmed your commitment to be together, your Pisces is still going back to the realization of the fact that they're not perfect, which, of course, nobody's perfect. But I think that for those of you who are cross-watching, your Pisces is having a really hard time with that, because they're taking it as, oh my goodness, I'm a horrible person, and I didn't know that I was a horrible person. But they're not realizing that, no, they're not a horrible person. They're not a horrible person. They may have made some mistakes. They might not be perfect. But guess what? That's what it is to be human. And I think your Pisces is having a hard time with this. I think you're dealing with a Pisces that for whatever reason reason they grew up feeling the need to be perfect. They grew up feeling the need like they have to be the teacher's pet. They have to be the smartest one. They have to be the prettiest one. They have to be the friendliest one. They have to be, like whatever. They've just had a lot of expectations. And so when they realize that, oh my goodness, I'm not, that all of those things, it might be hard for them to process that. It might be hard for them to swallow that. So it's going to be up to you to be reassuring and to be comforting and to remind Pisces, look, my dear, nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. There's nobody out there who's, number one at everything. And so I think your Pisces is struggling with that realization, with that awakening. And that's what happens when people really truly awaken. It's so funny because sometimes we see, people who like post things about being awoken or awake or woke or whatever, and there's some judgment in it about like people who aren't awake. But truthfully, what happens when you wake up is you kind of go through this period of time when you are like horrified at yourself, and you're horrified of past decisions that you made or things that you did, or just ways in which you didn't see you didn't see more, or you didn't realize more, or you didn't know any better. And I think a lot of you are dealing with a Pisces who's really having a hard time with that. And Crosswatcher, you may have already gone through that. You may have already had that point of your awakening where you went through that period where you're like, oh my goodness, I'm a terrible person. And then later on you realize, no, I'm not a terrible person. I just didn't know any better. And you go through the next few stages of awakening. So it can be very beneficial for you to help your Pisces through this process, should you decide you want to do that. It's up to you on, how much you want to be invested in this relationship. But I do think you guys are dealing with a Pisces who's going to be on a bit of an emotional roller coaster in the month of July, and they're going through this awakening. And so it may be calling on you, if you want to stick around for it, to really be in your gentleness and to help them. For whatever reason, Crosswatcher, I feel like a lot of you that are watching are maybe a little bit more spiritually advanced than your Pisces, or you've already been through this, you're further down the road, and you can be a great help for them as a result. Okay? So I would strongly recommend that you watch your love video for your sun sign for the month of July. At the time of recording this, it's going to be up. The love videos for July will be up within 48 hours of this video posting. So once all the love videos are up, I will have the links in the description. But until then, it'll be 48 hours from the time this video posts for the love videos to go up. And I strongly suggest that you watch them, because you can put the pieces of the puzzle together, and it'll maybe be something more cohesive for you. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do if you click on the link in the description, and it will go ahead and take you to the calendar where you can schedule a private reading with me. Guys, I strongly also recommend, I understand love is important, right? It's a part of human nature. We all want romance. We all want love. It's understandable. Nothing wrong with it. But sometimes we get so caught up in the cross-watching videos and the love videos that we forget about ourselves. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want you to forget about you. And that's why every single week, for every single zodiac sign, I do a weekly forecast that has nothing to do with romance. It's about you. It's about your life. It's about your path, you and nobody else. So please take advantage of the weekly forecast videos, guys. Please watch that. I'll still do the Crosswatcher videos. I'll still do the July love reading and the love reading every single month. And I'll be happy to give you a love reading if you schedule a reading with me. If you want to focus on your love life, I'm happy to give you a private reading on love. But don't forget about you, and take advantage of the weekly forecast, and make yourself a focus as well, all the other important areas of life. So I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. All the best, my dears. Have a fabulous July.